Hello guys, welcome back family to our YouTube channel. It's another amazing episode of
Forever Together with the Ekimas. If this is your first time, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to be reminded every time we upload a video.
It's true.
That's simple.
And please, if you love our content, please share our
Please
content.
share it.
Share
Let
with somebody.
someone come on board.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And don't forget guys, please, the adverts that are coming there, please watch them and conclude. That's how we also make some money to enable us continue shooting these videos. So
yeah, so please do watch the videos, subscribe, like, comment, share. So my love, what are we discussing today?
So today we're discussing a topic about
about
do you want to tell us? Okay.
You tell.
So today we're going to be discussing about a very important topic, as I always say. Now,
yes, so we're going to be discussing.
The issue is that where I'm even laughing is that we're going to be discussing the issue if there is anything like such a thing as the one.
Yeah.
Where I'm laughing and very nervous about it is that we have gotten a lot of comments. First of all, number one, when you shoot our video how we met, most people thought, wow, perfect couple, this guy is everything, wow, hey, God had planned it. So hey, what about us who God has not spoken about? How can we relate? So that's why we're shooting this video.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched the How We Met video, please, I think we should put a link somewhere, or just check through our videos, the How We Met video. You will love it. The other reason why we are shooting this video, in addition to what my love has said, is so not so long ago, a friend of mine approached me. She's married. She was dating.
That's 1 year, man.
Thank you. Yes, so she was dating. She was dating someone. They dated for so many years. Actually, cohabited, and then they were later married. Over 10 years in. And before they got married, she had questions about whether really this was the right person for her. And then now that even after they've gotten married, she still had
the issue,
reservations. Up to now, she says, I don't know if I married the right person. Yeah? So in this video, we are debunking the question of, is there such a thing as the one? Is there such a thing as a soulmate?
Yes.
Yeah. So please stick along.
And we're going to relate with the Bible because that's our constitution. That's our guiding.
Yeah.
I mean, the world comes up with their own things, but what does the Bible have to say about such a thing as the one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get right into it.
Welcome to forever. This is our perfect synchrony, like leather and feathers. No matter the weather, we can storm the umbrellas. Take a stroll in my heart. Let's take this further when I'm beside you, baby. See my stakes get better. Let me bet it all. Destiny vendettas. Rosy the emotional description of this love. I am yours, you are mine. The only thing that matters now. We are the Ekimas.
Okay, guys, so you are welcome back.
Yeah, so we're going to be discussing about the one. Now, baby, the issue of the one, it started with, because for us, personally, me and my wife, before we met, God had spoken about it. God had talked to her about us, about me. And even when I met her, my intention was that, you know what, let's first seek God and find out what God has to say about us. Because, I mean, marriage is a lifetime commitment. So we were two things, and then once God confirmed our reunion, then we were in position to move forward and get married. Now the question that comes into everyone's mind, when is God going to speak to me? Or does God speak?
Does God speak to everyone?
To everyone,
Everyone's story.
Yeah, is it everyone's story? So those are things that we are going to be discussing and digesting properly. But one thing that I want to put out there that is clear is that everybody has a story, and God has a plan for all of us.
Yeah.
And the Bible says it clearly. He has a plan for all of us. Plans to prosper us and make us good. So in whatever you do, in whichever relationship you're in, you must know that as so long as God is in it, then that is your one. Yeah, so baby, what is your opinion for you when it comes
I think just before, maybe let's just answer the question. Is there such a thing as the one?
Yes and no.
Explain.
Yes and no, but I'll relate it with the Bible. Yes, yes. First of all, in the Bible, I think there's nowhere where they provide that the one. All we see is that God is clear when it comes to Ephesians. He says that marry.
I don't know if you guys are hearing us.
Yes.
Wow,
God is clear when in the Bible they say marry a person who is a believer. That is
marry non-believers.
Don't marry non-believers. That is the yardstick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as your partner is a believer, then you are in the right relationship. You can see God. Sometimes God speaks, sometimes God does not speak. And the issue of when God speaks, it does not mean that because He has not spoken in your relationship or in your marriage,
that it's not
that it's not the person is not the one. I mean, people even use it for just getting ways of cheating. And I see, I knew that we are not meant to be the one, and that's why. As long as you marry the person who's a believer, even if the person was not an unbeliever, that means you broke them. Was not a believer. The person is an unbeliever. The Bible again, Paul talks about it. He says that you know what, you as the person who is the believer, you continue doing what, praying for that person. You may not leave the marriage
and living in a way that they will be impacted.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, so you said yes and no.
Yeah. So my yes is that I personally, I thought, for me, I think I put myself and I was like, God must speak when it comes to marriage for me.
Yeah.
So I believe that, I believed in that there's something like the one. So I believe that if God speaks to me, then that is the right position. So me as a person, I believe that there's that thing as the one. I mean, there's that one person whom God has created for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Not in the sense of marriage, but there's that one person. Because let me give an example. Yes, people will say, you see, they say, until marriage do you apart. I mean, death do you apart, yes. And then your partner marries, and then there are people who go on to remarry. Now, there are people
once someone dies.
Someone dies. Of course, there are people who say that, okay, yeah, that means that
it was not just one person. There was more.
There's more. But for me, I believe that there's that one person as a person. There's that one person. But we shall have that discussion another time. I think today we are debunking the issue of people trying to say that, okay, God has not spoken and God never spoke about us. That's why we are married. We have been married for 5 years and that's why we're struggling. I mean, even
the moment that you marry, not the wedding, the vows make you one. So whether you are not the one, the moment you say I do, you become the one.
Yeah, you become the one, yeah.
Nothing like I am married, but I'm searching for my soulmate. Yeah. So for me, this concept of the one and soulmates. So do you believe in soulmates, or it's just the one?
I think one. Soulmate means okay.
What does that even mean? Yeah. So for me, on this issue of the one, I agree with you partly, but partly disagree. Number one, do I think God speaks about relationships? I think if you ask, He can speak. Because to say that God does not speak, okay, if God has not spoken about it, it's probably, if you want Him to speak or if you listen, He will speak. So for me, I think people who say God did not speak, He might not speak in a vision or in a dream, like maybe He did for us, but He will speak in various ways. The fact that you even have the same belief system. So it's not just that the person is a believer. I think there are other factors as well. Of course, he's a believer. You have the same value system. You have the same goal. Okay, your visions match. All those things that we've talked about in the different videos we've done. Maybe you're attracted to them, whatever that is, yeah? But on whether God speaks, for me, my thinking is that if you ask, He will speak, or if you pay attention. Now, we have different ways with which we commune with God. For some of us, God speaks me through dreams, through convictions. He speaks to you through dreams, and how else does God do?
Dreams, visions.
Exactly. So, for another person, it could be different, and that's why it's very important that you have a personal relationship with God. I would encourage that before you make a commitment to say I do to someone, let God speak. Now, the speaking does not have to be in form of a vision. Therefore, behold, I come and say, knocking on the door, this is thou he. It might not have to be that, but it could be that you found someone and your heart finds peace. You are peaceful about the idea. And even when God speaks either in a vision or it's always good to get confirmation. So you can feel peaceful about it, but even the people you're working with, your accountability partners, confirm it as well.
Yes.
Yeah?
Because, maybe so to chip in here, life is spiritual. Before anything manifests in the physical, it first happens in the spiritual realm. So even your husband or your wife that you're talking about, it will first happen in the spiritual.
Yes.
And then it will just manifest in the physical. So we have a lot of battles to fight in the spirit. You must fight in the spirit because the devil is against unions.
Marriage.
So sometimes people go and you seek advice from someone, from this one, from a brother or from a friend, and somebody is just telling you certain things. And I mean, the devil can also use another person, even the one that you love,
yes,
to deny a very important union.
Yes. So for me, I think there's no such thing as the one. I think for me that's where I kind of disagree. I think there is the wrong person. The wrong one is there. They are there, but there's no the one. So let me explain what I mean by that. I think there's to cluster the notion of the potential partner. I feel sometimes people fixate on looking for the one that they fail to enjoy or to even look at the potential relationships. Can you imagine an idea where out of the I don't know how many billion people in the world, that there's that one person? Someone might even start saying, what if he's in Afghanistan and I'm here? Maybe I need to, But even when you trust that God will confirm whether this person is good for you or not, you need to be able to be flexible and enjoy the process, date people, like be comfortable with meeting new people. So why I say that one doesn't exist is that one already, like what you mentioned, the Bible clearly says that until death do you part, the vows we say rather, and when you remarry, does that mean that the next person was not the one? So for me, I think biblically speaking, there's just enough people, there's potential people, more than one, more than two, more than three that you could be with. But God could specifically speak and say, you know what, I want you to be with this person, maybe for a specific mission or for a specific reason. And that's why I'm saying, for me, I don't believe that God doesn't speak about your marriages.
No, he speaks.
If you ask, he will speak. Because if he can speak on all other aspects of your life, how much more this union that you're getting into that is for him? Maybe to speak about the thing of soulmates. Soulmates is not a biblical perspective, principle. It's just something that was started to, it sounds nice. I think I was reading somewhere the other day, I was at a podcast, and they were saying that it came from Plato. It was Plato's, and he was saying that in the idea of soulmate, that it was based on the belief that we were one person and then we were separated from each other, a male and a female. You know how like the creation story, Adam and Eve, they say from the rib. So it was one and then the other person was taken away, and then forever you have to look for that soulmate. So it came from that notion, not from the Bible, but from the idea that man is not complete until he finds that, which is wrong in itself, because we are complete in ourselves before we even find the other person. And then what happens to people who, because like Paul, like Jesus, would you say that they were incomplete? No, they were not. What do you say about people who go through life and they are never married? And the Bible is very clear on that. Some people have been called to celibacy, and it's okay. That doesn't mean that they were never given soulmates, or their soulmates were not, So the notion of the one, for me, honestly, it's something that I still struggle with, but with time I'm starting to think that maybe it does not exist. Our story, I know a story kind of makes me believe that there's such a thing as the one. We've shared that. So for me, I remember when God told me, "Do not be with person ABCD," and that's why I was saying that in my opinion, there's such a thing as the wrong one. The Bible has told us, "Do not be unequally yoked." So definitely, anyone who can two walk together unless they agree. Anyone who you cannot agree with, that one is the wrong one.
And I beg to disagree with you.
First, let me just finish. Yeah. So when I purposed, when God said, "Leave this relation," and I said, "I want to find my identity in you," I made a prayer and I said, "Lord, by that time I am ready to get into a relationship, and with that person, I want you to speak
about it,
to that person and show them to me." So for me, I think, and this is an opinion, you can disagree. We want to know what you guys think about this subject. By the way, I think it was
such a thing as the one, or is it a wrong person? So please share your views.
Thoughts? Yeah. So for me, I think it was a thing of I asked God to speak about it, and I believe that He would speak to it, and that is why He was very deliberate about it. That's my thing. Other people have said, God has, said, meet this person and marry. Yeah. So our stories do not have to be the same. Do I think God has to speak? If you listen, He will speak. If you don't, you will probably be speaking, but you won't be listening.
You won't be listening.
But He has the ability to speak to everyone's relationship, because marriage has been ordained by Him. Yeah. So you are disagreeing.
Yeah. What's important, guys? It's that what you just talked about, the fact that God speaks. I mean, the Bible says, "Seek and you'll find; knock and the door shall be open." Yeah. So if you ask God, trust me, He will speak. He will listen to you. So God speaks. I believe in that, and that's why I come into my notion of the one. The one may not be necessarily what is right for the people. What's more important? For the world public. What's more important is God speaking to you.
Yeah.
Once God speaks to you, and that's enough.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, and when I say the wrong one, I don't mean I don't mean the wrong one according to people's opinions. If anything, no, I mean we've done videos here where we categorically state that no one should make a decision for you for marriage. It is the wrong one according to you. It might even be right for everyone, but wrong according to you.
Yeah.
Using the baseline that we've talked about. If God has spoken about it, and you've received confirmation about it,
that's enough.
Yeah.
So I think what we're trying to debunk really is that, you see, some people really say, you see, you guys, God spoke, and please, if you're married already, and
even in the church, not just from us, but something that you hear a lot in the church.
So if you're married already, that's the one, that's the person you're with. Really, you can't change much. That's the person you're with.
Even if you can't change, but
God has ordained it.
Yes.
Already, God has ordained it. So you can't say, now I need to, because I think of the one. And as my wife, you rightly put it, baby, the fact that the one may be around you also.
Yes.
Don't say, I'm waiting for God to tell me this.
Yeah, but really, He's telling you indirectly. He has showed you this guys. Yeah.
Yes, you may have somebody. Yes, you may have a friend. You may have a person, and this is the person. Go to God about it. Seek God. Ask God that yes, so and so is like this. And then God will speak. So guys, please let us know, because me, I believe, and I'll maintain, yes, I believe that there is that person as the one. But
I've not understood your explanation.
Yes.
You've not answered me. When that person dies and they remarry, are you saying that they were the twos instead of the ones? Or that at that point then God gives you another? Like, how do you explain that?
I think if God speaks to you, then maybe that person
they were there for
a purpose, for a reason.
Season.
Yeah, I'll give a story of Moses. Remember the story of Moses in the Bible? Moses was supposed to take the Israelites to the promised land, but he stopped on the way. Then Joshua came in and finished, completed. So you may be the Moses, or you may be the Joshua. But what's important is that during that time, of course, two people cannot exist. There cannot be two people as the ones. I think one is mission, one is
maybe one
mission.
thing we need to separate, to refuse, is that the soulmate idea is wrong.
Is wrong, yes.
Soulmate in itself, because that means there's one soul and another four.
Yeah. So,
but maybe the one, the question of now the one is the one that. First of all, is there a difference between the one and soulmate?
No, the one is the soulmate is not there. I don't even subscribe to. But so I was saying that you find that it's what God, because God has plans for us. So you may find that yes, you are brought into that union, and as we have said, marriage is a ministry. We have mentioned that time and again. You may find that your purpose, that person's life has ended or has. So
okay.
As long as somebody's purpose ends, then that means that one has there is another one maybe.
Okay, I don't know how you feel about that.
But my point is that two ones cannot exist. You can't say is the one, is the one.
But they were both existing at the time. Or you're saying they were the ones for different seasons?
No, I think for me what I believe is that God has a plan, and for everybody, somebody can come into your life to do certain things. Then
and when that season comes, they go.
Maybe.
So that means you actually agree that there's potentials. There are more than one potential people.
I know.
But for a season, maybe God will say this is the person you're meant to be for that season. Is that what you're saying?
No, not for that
by season. I mean until they die, maybe.
Yes, yes, yeah. It can be like this because God can say you're with this person for this season because He has the plans for us.
Okay.
So
I think for me, my takeaway from here is one thing that we need to avoid is being so stuck in our heads in looking for the one that we get paralyzed and feel like this one is somewhere. I think that's usually the challenge.
Yeah.
So maybe we might never answer the question of whether there's the one or not. Maybe it doesn't matter to answer that question. But one thing we should know is that God speaks in different ways. He might even be speaking to you concerning the person who is seated next to you. But because you are thinking of the one and fixating on them, you fail, you get paralyzed and do not move. Or you start looking around and looking and searching the whole world for that one. When really the one
is just next to you. So you just utilize every tool.
And allow, don't be. God uses even the physical things, so it's good to be spiritual about these things and pray, but also look out for the signs. Are you attracted to this person? Do they appeal to you? It's not just about prayer. Yes, and the other thing is this notion where in church someone walks up to you and says, God has told me I am supposed to marry you. Yes, thank you. Let me pray about it. Let Him also speak to me about it. Because I've had people who have walked into marriage just because someone told them God spoke, and then they get there, they feel like they were coerced into it.
Yes.
You must get your own proof. I think we shared that before I met Emma, I had a dream about that. God had spoken to me that it was time for me to go back to dating, and I specifically told God I'm not going to date again until I am married. And because what's the point of dating when it's not
the end goal is marriage?
So that is the prayer I made to God. So help me. I don't want my time wasted. I don't want to go into all these relationships that just waste your time. And I remember just shortly before I met you, I had the dream that I was going to get back to date, and this time the person I was dating I was going to marry, and I saw you in that dream. Now I think
you never told me actually.
I did not.
I
did not. When I met him, I did not. But I knew where it was going. And the reason I never told him is, and I remember telling God, I said, if he is indeed the one, tell him, confirm it to him. I never at any point told him until eventually.
And even me, when I met you, I had not yet gotten confirmation. But you remember what I told you in the car? I told you that
if I'm going to pray about it, if it's not God's will, then I will let it pass in as much as I like you.
I was so clear on that because I also wanted something that where God had to speak about it. Yes, and thank God you never told me. Because if you had told me, I would have lowered my guard. I would be like, I think God's
maybe it's the one. And then probably he would walk into the marriage and later find out that when you get these hardships, then doubts come in, and then you start wondering, it's really good.
And guys, let's
and then later God spoke. to him as well.
Yeah.
I think we have
so
to say
God,
that. But
God spoke to me
through another person as
through
well.
actually 2-3 people actually
Confirmed
One
it.
person confirmed and another person, like 3 people confirmed, and I was like, wow, okay. And also God spoke to me, so I was like, wow, then that's the right thing. But also we need to debunk the things. People, guys, even as we are married, we have had challenges. Please, let the challenges not come into your marriage or your
and you think that
you start saying,
I made a mistake.
I made a wrong choice. Guys, please.
The choice you made was the right one.
You don't get issues and then start saying, I think I made the right choice, the wrong choice.
And that's another thing to debunk. The idea that people always think that when they meet the one that God has spoken about through a vision or something, then they will have a perfect marriage. No, guys, marriage is meant to refine us. Actually, I was reading a book that was saying that marriage was not meant for our comfort. It was meant for our purification. Okay, I'm paraphrasing, but we don't go into marriage for the happy ending and the perfect. It is there to build our character.
Yeah.
So whether God spoke about your marriage, whether he used a vision, whether the angels were singing when the wind was blowing and the stars were, you will still have challenges.
They will be there.
So I think that's also another thing.
Yeah.
Now, we are not saying that the difference is that the challenges you will have if you're married in the will of God and are still in the will of God in your marriage will not be the same as someone who went and married, let's say, an unbeliever or has chosen to go in the total different. Now, those are different special problems.
Yeah.
But even then, God, the Bible does not say divorce your unbelieving spouse. If you've chosen, carry your cross. That's what the Bible says, and walk with it.
I continue to pray you be the light in that marriage. So guys, so please don't get an excuse and say,
if he was not the one, the moment you married them, they became the one.
If I think she's not the one, because now we are meeting this, because no, challenges will be there in marriage and you must resolve them.
Yeah. So guys, till next time, bye-bye. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on this discussion of the one? Is there such a thing as the one? What are your thoughts on soulmates? What are they even? And does God speak to everyone's marriage? And if he did not, what does that mean? Till next time, much love.
Much love, guys.